Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's topic may feel uncomfortable, but it's one that many men need to hear. Sometimes what sounds like love is manipulation dressed in sweetness. We're talking about sweet lies, the carefully chosen phrases that make you feel special, needed, and irreplaceable. But behind the charm can hide something far more troubling: emotional manipulation. Here's the thing: not all flattery is honest, and not every kind word is rooted in genuine connection. Research shows that men respond more strongly to emotional rewards, praise, affection, and attention. And unfortunately, some women know how to use that to their advantage. Whether it's for attention, financial support, emotional comfort, or validation, specific lies sound lovely, but leave you feeling empty once the spell wears off. In today's video, we're breaking down 7 specific lies women may use when not building a relationship, but using one. These aren't always easy to spot, especially when wrapped in compliments or emotional language. But once you learn the signs, you'll never hear these phrases the same way again. If you've ever found yourself giving more than you're receiving, questioning your worth, or feeling emotionally drained by someone who once made you feel incredible, this video is for you. So stay with me until the end, because what we're about to uncover could protect your time, heart, and sense of self-respect. Let's get started. 1. I love our conversations. A woman saying, "I love our conversations," sounds sweet and validating. On the surface, it signals closeness, warmth, and maybe even the beginning of something more. But underneath that pleasant phrase can lie a subtle but dangerous imbalance, especially if those conversations live entirely in the digital world. If all you ever share are texts, late-night voice notes, or phone calls that end without plans to meet, you're not in a relationship, you're in a holding pattern. Some women, consciously or not, keep certain men around as emotional placeholders. These men offer comfort, presence, and attention without ever being invited deeper into their lives. If she only texts you when she's bored or emotionally low, and disappears when she's out with friends or busy with someone else, you are not part of her priorities, you're part of her convenience. Watch how she invests in the connection. If she avoids making time for you in real life, always has an excuse to postpone plans, and engages in warm yet detached dialogue, it may not be affection, it may be ego maintenance. You provide her with validation, emotional stimulation, and the assurance that someone is always there to respond when she feels the urge to be heard. But that doesn't mean she desires you romantically or emotionally. It means she enjoys the idea of being desired. There's a difference between being appreciated and being used to pass the time. A woman who truly values your presence will look for ways to bring you into her world beyond the screen. She won't rely solely on the glow of your messages to feel connected. She'll want to feel your presence beside her. So the next time she says, "I love our conversations," ask yourself what follows. Is she making space for you in her life, or just in her inbox? Don't confuse emotional accessibility with emotional investment. You deserve more than being in someone's comfort zone while she waits for something or someone else. 2. You're so strong, /handsome, /successful, /generous. There's a kind of praise that doesn't come from admiration. It comes with a purpose. When a woman tells you you're strong, handsome, or successful, it might warm your ego momentarily, but not all compliments are gifts. Some are currency, and some are bait. Men are often conditioned to respond positively to admiration, compliments targeting masculine identity. Your strength, success, and generosity strike a chord because they reinforce how you want to be seen. But when those words arrive before a request, the intent is no longer pure affirmation. She says, "You're so generous," and mentions her overdue bills shortly after. Or she tells you, "You're so successful," and then brings up a financial hurdle she's facing. These aren't coincidences. They follow a pattern that's as old as seduction itself. First, elevate his self-image. Then, make the ask while he's still basking in that glow. This kind of dynamic is subtle, and that's what makes it effective. It doesn't come off as manipulation at first. It feels like a connection, like trust. But genuine compliments are free. They ask for nothing in return. They land gently, without expectation. When appreciation turns into a transaction, you're not being flattered. You're being played. Understanding this isn't about cynicism, it's about clarity. A man who knows his value doesn't need external praise to feel confident, and doesn't trade his time or money for emotional strokes. When a compliment makes you feel good, pause. Ask yourself, was that a gift, or was it a setup? Confidence means hearing the praise but watching the pattern, because a compliment followed by a request isn't always kindness. Sometimes it's strategy in disguise. 3. You're the best lover I've ever had. When a woman tells you, "You're the best lover I've ever had," it's a powerful statement that speaks directly to a man's ego. At its core, this compliment targets an area that many men hold dear: sexual dominance and performance. It makes you feel strong, desired, and most importantly, necessary. It reinforces the idea that you are the one, the man who stands above all others, even if her emotional connection with you elsewhere is not as strong. But while this might feel good at the moment, it's essential to take a step back and observe what follows. What comes after this flattery? Does she ask for a favor? One that's unrelated to the compliment? Does she revert to bad behavior as if the praise was just a momentary token? Or worse, does she guilt-trip you into doing something that benefits her without considering your needs? Sexual flattery is often used as a tool for distraction. It creates an emotional fog, one that makes it easier for her to get what she wants without addressing underlying issues. She may show you praise in the bedroom, only to return to the same patterns of disrespect or manipulation outside of it. If you feel like a king in the sheets but a servant outside them, it's time to be cautious. This type of manipulation can be subtle, disguised under the guise of admiration, but it serves a much deeper purpose: to distract you from the imbalance in the relationship. Recognizing these patterns is essential to understanding your proper role in the dynamic. A healthy relationship values you for more than your ability to perform in intimate moments. Your worth extends beyond that, and it's vital to recognize when flattery is just a tool used to maintain control. 4. I love you. When a woman says "I love you" early in a relationship, it can feel exhilarating, almost magical. But sometimes those 3 words aren't as innocent as they appear. The phrase holds immense emotional weight, and when used prematurely, it can become a manipulation tool rather than an expression of genuine emotion. It's not that the sentiment is false. It might simply be misused or rushed. The most concerning aspect of these words is the potential underlying motive: to anchor you emotionally, distract or control the situation. A woman might say "I love you" not because she genuinely feels it, but because she senses you pulling away, or perhaps because she wants to ensure you don't leave. It's often a shield to avoid conflict and hold you close when questioning the relationship. In these moments, the phrase isn't about love, it's about securing emotional safety and stability. It becomes a method of maintaining control or preventing you from retreating. If a selfish request immediately follows her declaration of love, it's worth considering her motivations. These requests are often indirect, designed to make you feel responsible for her well-being, as if your commitment is necessary for her happiness. It's as though the love is a pretext to solidify her hold over you, not a genuine expression of affection. There's also the possibility that she might hope to grow into the emotion of love later, but for now she wants your commitment. She is asking for emotional security without having fully developed the feeling. This can leave you feeling uncertain, caught in a situation where you are expected to give more than you feel ready to. The hope is that with time the words will match the emotion, but in the meantime, her commitment to you may not be as strong as it seems. Recognizing when these words are used manipulatively doesn't mean you should distrust love generally, but you should stay aware of the timing and context. If she is using "I love you" as a tool to lock you into something you're not ready for, or if it's linked to a hidden agenda, it's essential to remain calm, evaluate the situation, and decide if you're comfortable with the pace and dynamics of the relationship. Love should be an evolution, not a tactic. 5. You're my hero. When a woman looks at you with admiration and says, "You're my hero," it feels good, doesn't it? It taps into something deeply ingrained in many men. A need to feel needed, a desire to be the protector, the one who stands firm and provides. On the surface, this phrase seems like a compliment and acknowledgement of your strength and importance. But as with most relationships, it's essential to look beyond the surface and understand what's happening. The hero syndrome is a psychological trigger. It inflates your sense of masculinity and importance, validating your role as someone strong and capable. It makes you feel like the center of her world, the person who can fix things, solve problems, and be the savior when things go wrong. Many men crave this feeling of being needed and admired for their strength and ability to care. It feeds your ego and makes you feel validated. However, the danger lies in how this phrase is used. If the words, "You're my hero," are followed closely by a request for help, a gift, or even a significant sacrifice, it's not admiration, it's manipulation. She may be using your need to feel like her hero to get something from you, whether that's your time, resources, or emotional energy. This is especially suspicious if she only says it during moments when she wants something, strategically timed to pull on your heartstrings and make you feel obligated to act. You might not see it at first. After all, who doesn't want to be someone's hero? But if these words come with hidden motives, they can set a pattern where you're constantly fulfilling her needs without being fully appreciated or acknowledged. She may seem to rely on you, but the dynamic isn't one of mutual respect, but of calculated dependence. So how can you tell the difference? Watch for patterns. If this phrase is used only when she needs something from you, it's a clear sign of manipulation. A genuine partner will admire your strength and capability, but will also contribute to the relationship meaningfully. They won't use your instincts against you, but instead foster an environment where both of you feel supported and valued. When you hear, "You're my hero," enjoy the praise, but also recognize that your value doesn't come from always being the one to rescue her. Your worth in a relationship is rooted in equality, trust, and mutual respect, not just in your ability to fulfill her every request. 6. You don't care about me, or you don't love me. In relationships, emotional manipulation often comes disguised as heartfelt pleas or accusations. One of the most common emotional weapons used is when a woman says, "You don't care about me," or "You don't love me." At first, it may seem like an expression of her pain or unmet needs, but these words are often carefully crafted to make you feel guilty and shift the balance of power in the relationship. This is not just an emotional outburst, but a subtle form of manipulation, designed to make you question your actions and intentions. These phrases typically arise when you stand for yourself, assert your boundaries, or refuse to comply with a demand. For example, if you say no to something she wants, enforce a boundary regarding your time, or call her out on disrespectful behaviors, she might say, "You don't care about me," to deflect the issue. The goal isn't to express a genuine feeling of abandonment, but to make you feel responsible for her emotional state. It's a tactic to make you feel guilty for standing firm in your beliefs or actions, and to shift the blame onto you for her unhappiness or frustration. This behavior is a classic example of gaslighting. It's a form of psychological manipulation where she attempts to distort your perception of reality, making you doubt your intentions and actions. You may start to second-guess yourself, wondering if you're being as loving and considerate as you thought. However, the truth is that these accusations are often rooted in control, not a lack of love or care. She's not questioning your commitment to her. She's asking about your ability to comply with her expectations and desires. The tactic is compelling when it plays on your empathy. If you've shown care and affection through your actions in the past, she may know how to pull at your heartstrings and make you feel like you owe her more. It's a calculated move designed to make you feel like the villain when you've simply been trying to maintain your sense of self in the relationship. While it's natural to want to reassure her when she expresses these feelings, it's essential to understand that giving in to these emotional demands does not always lead to a healthier dynamic. It can perpetuate a cycle where your needs and boundaries are continuously undermined to maintain her emotional comfort. This dynamic can quickly lead to an imbalanced relationship where one partner's emotional needs constantly outweigh the other's, leaving you feeling drained and manipulated. The key to navigating these situations is recognizing the difference between genuine emotional expression and manipulation. When she says, "You don't care about me," take a moment to assess the situation calmly. Is she reacting to something specific, or is this an emotional ploy to regain control? If it's the latter, don't let her words lead you to doubt the sincerity of your love or the integrity of your actions. Stick to your boundaries with confidence and composure. Remember that love isn't about constant reassurance or giving in to guilt. Love is about mutual respect, understanding, and maintaining your sense of self. Acknowledge her feelings without taking responsibility. Instead of responding with guilt or defensiveness, you might say, "I understand that you're feeling hurt right now, but that doesn't mean I don't care about you." This way, you can affirm her emotions without allowing her to manipulate your sense of self-worth. Ultimately, the goal is to foster a relationship built on healthy communication, respect for each other's boundaries, and emotional maturity. Emotional manipulation may seem like an easy shortcut to get what you want in the short term, but it only leads to resentment and confusion in the long run. Recognizing these tactics and maintaining your integrity ensures your relationship can grow stronger and more resilient. 7. I just want to be myself around you. When a woman tells you, "I just want to be myself around you," it often feels like a declaration of trust, an intimate moment where she reveals her vulnerability. However, as with most relationships, this phrase can sometimes be more than it seems. While it may genuinely express her desire to feel comfortable and accepted, it can also be a convenient excuse for less than ideal behavior. If she constantly tells you this but never demonstrates the openness she claims, it's time to take a step back. Authentic vulnerability is something that's shown through actions, not just declared. If the being myself version of her only includes moments where she's pushing boundaries or engaging in toxic behavior, then it's not truly about vulnerability. It's a way to keep you on your toes. The phrase, "I just want to be myself," can quickly turn into a shield for poor treatment. This tactic can be particularly tricky. Suppose she's using this statement to justify actions that make you uncomfortable, like being rude or dismissive, or even blaming you when you react negatively. In that case, it's not about being her true self at all. Instead, it's a manipulation strategy designed to make you feel guilty or like you're the problem for not accepting every part of her without question. One of the more manipulative variations is the idea that, if you don't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. This statement turns love into an emotional test where you must tolerate bad behavior to prove your worth. It places all the responsibility for maintaining the relationship on you while she continues to do as she pleases. Remember, a woman who values you will want to be the best version of herself around you, just as you should want to do the same for her. If she's always asking for unconditional acceptance, without offering respect or consideration in return, the power dynamic shifts in a way that isn't healthy for either of you. True love and connection don't demand you accept toxic behavior, they inspire mutual growth and respect. So when she says, "I just want to be myself around you," pay attention to how her actions align with her words. Vulnerability is not a performance nor an excuse for harmful behavior. If she consistently says it but never shows it, recognize that the phrase has become more of a script than a genuine expression of self. Ultimately, it all comes down to this. Words may feel good, but consistent, respectful behavior reveals true intentions. A genuine woman speaks with sincerity, supports you emotionally, and shows up when it matters, without expecting something in return. In contrast, a manipulative woman uses sweet lies not as expressions of affection, but as tools for control, flattery, and emotional leverage. If every kind word seems to come with an unspoken price tag, your time, money, energy, then it's not love, it's a transaction. As men, it's essential to learn the difference between real emotional intimacy and well-disguised manipulation. You don't need to become bitter or guarded, but you need to become wiser and more discerning. Pay attention to what follows the sweet talk. If her words never align with her actions, and affection only appears when she wants something, it's time to reevaluate the connection. True love doesn't need to be earned through sacrifice or constant proving. It's mutual, it's consistent, and most importantly, it's real. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever found yourself believing these sweet lies? What helped you see through them? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss more insights on self-worth, emotional intelligence, and navigating healthy relationships. See you in the next one.